What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Knicks Community Podcast, now on YouTube. I'm here with my guy, Eru from the Diehard Knicks Podcast, and today we're just going to be discussing the Knicks versus Hornets postgame thoughts. Eru, what'd you think of the game?
Well, I mean, this is one of those games where I wish I would have took a nap too, man, because I mean, it seems like the Knicks took a nap before they started the game. They just never woke up. So we were just playing catch up the whole game, man. So I hate games like that. I feel like after that 5-3, we just been playing that way. I don't know if we just got too high, and now we don't know what to do while we're there. The scouting reports are coming in. So I just think the Knicks are just shell shocked right now. I mean, trying to figure out what they want to be right now.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I have my phone next to me with all of these notes that I just took. It's great to have you on my show. I feel like I'm always on your show, so it's nice to bring you to Knicks community land.
I appreciate it.
So I think that the reason why we lost this game was I feel like missed shots was a huge part. We had so many high percentage looks at times. Like there was a play in the third quarter where it was like Quickly and Austin Rivers like both missed back-to-back wide open threes. So I feel like that was a huge part. Turnovers was another huge part. There was one play where like Julius Randle was coming up the court and then passed it to Elfrid Payton, and then I think Devontae Graham stole it and got an easy layup. So what did you think were the main factors of why we lost this game, and how do you think we can improve on getting those areas of improvement back to where we would like them to be?
Well, they just have to get back to the game plan. Like in the beginning of the game, like I'm always like a big fan of the shot chart. The shot chart kind of tells the game because if lately the shot chart has been exactly the same. Every single win and loss, our shots have been in the same spot. This game in particular, I think like maybe like the first few shots were just missed threes. That's not our game. That means that we're not executing what we're trying to do. So it took like almost the whole first quarter for us to snap out of it and start playing Knicks basketball again. And then we've just been playing catch up the whole time. The scouting report seems to be in. They're packing it in on Randle. Randle got flustered a little bit, and it forced other guys to try to step up. And we don't have a team that has players that can do that. Everyone's waiting for someone else to do something. So we're just kind of like stuck in the mud right now with the Knicks.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I said this on your show, I think last game, because I think Clyde said it perfectly. It's like, it looks like it's not like a team kind of like basketball style of play. Like it's just kind of looking like individual play, and everybody's kind of like exactly what you said, like waiting for somebody to do something when everybody should be trying to contribute and to just help us win games, I think. How do you feel about Austin Rivers? Because I feel like as of late, I feel like he hasn't really been doing as much as like I would like him to do, after hitting 14 consecutive points in the fourth. Like I feel like now the vibe that I get is he's just kind of like whining at the refs about calls and stuff. Like how do you feel? That's kind of my vibe.
Yeah, I fell in love with him like everybody else. He was saying all the right things and stuff. Just his confidence. But I'm still trying to figure it out because if you look at his stats throughout his career, his stats don't match what he was saying when he came to the Knicks. So I waited for him to show his true self. So really, his true self is he's like a guy. He's highly skilled, man. He could dribble, he could shoot, he could do it all. Step back, game-winning threes, all this type of thing. Get to the basket anytime he wants to. But there's something missing in his game where he just doesn't he can do it, but he just doesn't want to. Like his game is not like he doesn't have like a killer game. He's not trying to score. He's not trying to dominate the ball. He's not trying to do anything like that. But he definitely has the skills to do it. So, I'm still trying to figure it out. He just like he's a super sub, really. Somebody that you could put in to like pretend like that he's a star player, but he's not really a star player. So on a team like us, he's really going to stick out. As far as his skill set and stuff like that. But he's just not that guy. We're still trying to learn him, but he's just not that guy. To like carry a team like that.
Yeah, and like I feel like adding on to your point, like there were a lot of moments where like, I mean, it wasn't even just him, it was like everybody. Like I feel like there's moments where like they could have made the effort to like make that extra move to like go and grab the ball or something like that. And they were just kind of like had their arms up, just kind of like whatever. And like I feel like even if you're like getting blown out, like I feel like especially with this team too, because like Austin Rivers and like Julius Randle, this is the perfect quote. He said after the Thunder game, he was like, we're gonna nip this in the butt and we're gonna get right back to where we started. With winning streaks and all of that. And I feel like the energy has just died. Like it's almost weird because like even when Quickly is on the court, like it doesn't feel the same. It's like I don't know if it's like they're like not really as into it, or maybe like they got like overconfident or something. Like I have no idea. Like I don't know if it's like the early stages of these guys' careers and like they're just kind of trying to figure out like where to put that energy, like and how to I guess like use that like to win games because I mean this is our second loss in a row, right? So how do you feel about this kind of like switch in energy that I've definitely been starting to notice? How do you feel about the Knicks and their I guess like lack of energy as of late? How do you feel?
I really can't put my finger on it, man. It's I think the scouting report has a lot to do with it. One thing I don't want to talk about, I don't want to talk about the minutes. Like Tom Thibodeau is strictly going with like an 8-man rotation, maybe 9. But that's what he has to do. He doesn't trust the guys that are available to play. Because DSJ could have played today. Pinson or somebody could have played today to give guys some rest. But I don't think he believes in that because he doesn't trust those guys. Whatever they're showing in practice, they're just not guys that he can rely on and stuff like that. So that's one thing I don't want to talk about that. It's just like, guys just have to bunker down. Elfrid is a starter. All these guys, RJ Barrett, he wants to be a star. Julius Randle, I'll give him his props. MVP candidate, that's what he was been doing up until this game. You know what I'm saying? So, you got to give these guys props. But if you want, considered some of the best players in the NBA, if you want to be considered a starter, if you want to be considered an MVP candidate, you got to prove it every night. You can't just take nights off like your Kyrie Irving. You just haven't earned it. As Knicks fans, I complain a lot about Kyrie Irving, but at the same time, Kyrie Irving can wake up and drop 50 on you. He can limp play on one foot and drop 50 on you. So he's earned the right to be that, to do that. But the Knicks don't on the court that's earned that, man. So it comes down to game plan. We just got to execute Tom Thibodeau's game plan because I like the way that we're playing, but it's just that we just have to bring it, bro. We just have to bring it.
Yeah, and like on the subject of Kyrie Irving, I have friends who are Nets fans, and we talked a lot about Kyrie Irving today, because like I don't know what's going on with him. Like I don't know how many games he's missed now consecutively, because like I feel like now like his ego is like overtaking him, if that makes sense. Because it's so weird because like first it was the whole thing with the saging in the arenas. I saw you put that on your story. How do you feel about Kyrie Irving? Do you think he's going to come back soon? I mean, this is a Knicks show, but I'm just very interested in this whole Kyrie Irving situation. What do you think?
It's relevant to the conversation, man, because like the Knicks are trying to build their culture and stuff like that. If Julius Randle decided, hey, I'm not going to play today, what's the reason? Oh, personal reasons. I just don't want to play today. Like if Julius Randle did that, do you know how crazy the fan base would go?
Knicks
so
Twitter
would
not be good.
Yeah, Knicks Twitter would be going crazy, but I get it, but I mean, like I'll just bring the parallel to this. Saying I'm a working guy, blue collar dude. So I work and I work a lot of hours. I work for someone, and I put in hours to do overtime and this, that, and the other. So on the weekend, usually if I'm really trying to get this overtime, I could work 30 hours out of the weekend. We only talk about what's that? 48 hours. Out of 48 hours of the weekend, I'll be working 30 of them. So when do I sleep? You know what I'm saying? Then after sometimes Monday, I got to come into work Monday too. There's nobody to cry to. I'm not gonna tell my boss, hey man, I need a day off, man. You're giving me too many hours. I said, no, this is what I do for a living. This is how I earn money and stuff like that. So I have to do what I got to do to get myself together to just so I can be able to do these hours because I need it. Just like these guys, they love it when guys pat them on the back and give them accolades and stuff like that. If they're dropping 23, 11, and 7, it's all good. Yo, look how great he's playing. Well, hey, we're getting smacked tonight. Hey, give me the night off tonight because I'm just not having a good night. Like that's something that we cannot do. That's not New York culture, man. I just don't agree with that whole concept.
Mhm. Yeah, no, totally. And I think it must be pretty weird from Kevin Durant's perspective too. Because I think right before the season, there was all this hype, especially like I think on like Kevin Durant's podcast, he had Kyrie Irving on, and like there was all of this hype surrounding the Nets, and now I just feel like I feel like the hype is almost gone. I mean, not really, but like kind of. It's really interesting because like the Nets have some weapons. They got Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, Joe Harris, a huge secret weapon this year. And I feel like all of the Nets hype is really just kind of like gone as of late, mainly because of this whole Kyrie Irving situation. How do you feel about guys like Kevin Knox and Nerlens Noel tonight? Because I mentioned Nerlens Noel a little bit on your halftime show tonight. And like I feel like it's really interesting because I feel like Julius Randle has been super consistent with like really just being aggressive and scoring. And I feel like the rest of the guys on this team have shown like little like flickers of like possibly being that second key scorer that we need. And like I feel like, you saw that from Kevin Knox tonight. So like I guess yeah, I'm gonna add another question here. Who do you think is going to be our like next consistent scorer, and like how do you feel about these guys always showing like kind of like flickers of like having those kind of moments of being like a key scorer in games?
Well, that's where I got to give credit to the coach, man, because the coach is you know, when you're playing sports in general, it could be any sport. You just need a role. You want the coach to tell you what to do. Because I mean, like in the gym when you're by yourself, anybody can go to a basketball court. I can go right now, go outside and shoot in the park, and go through my routine. No one's there. I'm working on my handle, working on my jump shot. But if I'm playing a organized basketball game where I get in, like you just want your coach to tell you what to do because you know how to shoot, you know how to dribble and this, that, and the other, but you just need a role. Do you want me to score? Do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Because like it's organized ball. It's not like you're playing pickup. When you're playing pickup, guys just do what they're gonna do. Like you get mad. Oh, this guy's not passing the ball. He's just chucking up every shot that he wants to. But if you're playing organized, it doesn't work that way. You got to have a game plan and stuff like that. That's where Tom Thibodeau comes in. And Tom Thibodeau, basically gave Kevin Knox the perfect role, which is just working with the offense, hit the open jump shot, move the ball, play defense. He's giving him a specific role. He's going to get shots in the corner. He's going to get shots on the wing, and that's every time Knox get the ball in rhythm, he knocks those shots down. It's amazing, but it's
Yeah.
not really amazing because that's what he's been training to do. And just for the coach to say, listen, this is why I need you to do exactly. His eyes are open, man. So hopefully this is like the stepping stone for him making the next step in his career.
Yeah, and like I kind of have this feeling sometimes now. It's like I don't know if like guys are kind of like clear about their roles at times, especially now that we're kind of on this losing streak. Like like I see now, like I see a huge change in Emmanuel quickly. I think, because he kind of went from this like leader, kind of like alpha leader of the offense, pointing fingers, commanding guys where to go, and like now I feel like all of that's now just kind of like evaporated. And like I feel like now he's kind of like playing like a rookie. And like I said this like when I first went on your show, like fans have so much like expectations. And like I don't know if like now all of this kind of like confusion is due to like I guess like maybe Knicks players kind of like coming back down to reality almost from that 3-game winning streak. Like, cause you have like Austin Rivers going from 14 consecutive points in the fourth to now just kind of going like this. And like Quickly's now missing floaters. I have no idea. So I mean, like, do you kind of feel like guys are like confused about their roles? And I mean, what do you think about that? Because that's kind of what I kind of am seeing.
Well, pressure burst pipes, right? That's what people say, So I think now that they're 5-3, Tom Thibodeau, every time they win, is Tom Thibodeau's not happy. He's still there's always something to work on. So I think that phenomena, or whatever you want to say, is getting to the team, because Quickly plays more free. He's more of a happy, go lucky kind of guy, and other guys too, like RJ. RJ is definitely pressing, man. He's pressing big time. So I just think that the lights are on them now. Where they know that we're playing for a good coach. They know the system works. So now they have to go out there and prove it every single night. So that's the pressure, man. Being a professional basketball player, you have to come out every night and play. Like I said, I made that comparison to like the working man. Like you have to show up. You're not going to get your 15 hours for free. You got to be out there and do what you got to do to do it. And you have to do what's necessary to prepare for yourself for that. So you want the bright lights, man. So you got to show up.
Yeah, and that I feel like now this pressure is like, I feel like it's kind of getting to them due to Austin Rivers. Now that I'm thinking about it, because throughout this entire season, Austin Rivers has been just talking this huge sort of like game almost, because he's like, yeah, like we're gonna get there. Like it's kind of like win or like learning. And like right now we're learning, or like right now we're winning, and like I love my team, and like Quickly's great. And like I feel like now if you really look back into that winning streak, like they get a couple wins, then all of a sudden Knicks fans are starting to make duo names for Austin Rivers and Emmanuel Quickly, Quivers or Rickley. I don't know what the name is. And then you have Austin Rivers going to practice instead of hanging out with his wife on his off day. And then Austin Rivers just speaking, I feel like, after every post game. And now I feel like he's almost gone like silent after like days and days and days of speaking to Knicks Nation, whether it's after games or like on his Instagram. And like, so I feel like all of this pressure has started also from Austin Rivers, because I kept on saying it before he got into the rotation. He has so much to back up, because he's been saying all of this stuff like, oh, like I've been on bad teams, and like I know that this isn't a bad team. I don't think it's a bad team either. I mean, you and me have both been there for the Lua Mudson era, 17 and 65. I mean, it's been tough, but I feel like now it's different. But like, I don't know. It's really interesting where we're at right now, because you see like this huge just drop in like energy and also effort. Like I'm tying this back to earlier in the episode when I just talked about guys like almost looking like they're like giving up at the end of either at the end of the fourth or like in the second half, and it's really interesting to see these guys. Like I said this on your halftime show today too. I said it's really interesting to see like the ups and the downs that these guys are going to go through throughout their careers. Do you think Kevin Knox is going to get that starting role now over Reggie Bullock based off of the 3-point performance he had tonight? I'm very interested to hear what you think about this.
That's the thing. I was talking about minutes and stuff like that. That's the thing. You guys want to be there. You want to play. You got to be there. Now, you mentioned Bullock. RJ Barrett could be the guy that goes to the bench to bring Knox out there, because RJ Barrett can't be missing these 3-pointers, man. Kevin Knox is starting to prove that if he gets that shot in rhythm, he's going to knock it down. RJ Barrett is not going to make those shots, it seems like. So maybe RJ Barrett needs to get a reality check and get snatched out the starting lineup and starting Knox. That's drama, though. You know what I'm saying? That's drama.
Yeah.
But it's all about being a pro, man. If coach does that to you, you don't take it as a demotion. You take it as a challenge. You want your spot back. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, Tom Thibodeau's still playing the 8-man rotation, so you're going to get 30 minutes regardless. So maybe taking RJ Barrett out the starting lineup might work just for spacing and that type of thing. Maybe it might work. You never know, man. So I'm all for it. None of these guys. I always say that on my pod. I'm a Knicks fan. I don't really care about these players. It's nice to see them succeed and stuff, but players come and go. We might trade these guys and get somebody else, or guys get hurt, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? We just move on. Knicks fans never change, man. But we can't get too attached to certain guys and say, oh, this guy has to be like this guy has to be like that. Things change, man. It's all about the team. So if Knox keeps shooting like this, and Tom Thibodeau says, you know what, RJ, come off the bench, let's see what you do, coming off the bench with playing against the second unit, then so be it. It's all about that W. We got to get those wins, man. Right now we're not the greatest team, but I think we could be a 500 team. Dropping 1 or 2 games below and maybe getting on a win streak and get back to 500. I think we're going to be that team all year. So, as long as we can tread water in that way, then I'll be good. I don't care who's starting. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah.
No, I totally agree. I'm just I'm pulling up the schedule here because I'm going to tie this into you said dubs and wins. So I just want to hear your opinion on these next couple games, and then we'll probably wrap up. Let's see. So let's see. We're playing the Nets next. We're playing Cleveland and Boston. Those are the next 3 games. Do you think we're gonna win? What's your opinion? We don't know if Kyrie's gonna be sitting out or playing. So what do you think?
I don't know. I feel like the way the Knicks were playing when we were winning, we can we were instilling our will on teams. So it depends on how we start these games, how we continue to progress. But I could say I can argue that we can win all 3 of these games coming up. But realistically, with the way things are going, we probably can go 1-2, or we can go 2-1. Maybe winning, beating the Nets or losing to the Nets, or beating Boston and beating Cleveland. Whatever. It could go any kind of way. But it really depends on how these Knicks, show up. But I'll be good with whatever, man. Because it's a long season. You can't get so upset. Guys are getting upset, man. Like, I mean, I was just arguing on one of the group chats that I'm in about just, about the minutes, that, Tom Thibodeau need to rest the guys and stuff. I'm like, yo, like, are we talking about rest right now? It's only been 11 games in the season. This is what we're arguing about. It's like, come on, man. This season is so long. Guys get hurt. Obi Toppin is going to come back eventually. Burke is going to come back eventually. Reinforcements are coming, man. So, different things going to happen. And plus, we still got assets and we still have money to spend. So anything can happen throughout the course of the season. So I'm not gonna get so bent out of shape about the stuff that's going on now, man. But right now I'm just really enjoying it because yo, Aiden, we talking basketball, bro. Isn't that the best thing? We're talking basketball, man. So yeah, so I love it, man. I love it.
Absolutely. No, yeah, and I mean, win or lose, it's still, there's always something to talk about. Like, especially even tonight, we're talking about roles, we're talking about consistency. And, I feel like, especially what I've been noticing after really just analyzing all of these games, coming on your halftime show, doing these post-game shows now, like I'm really starting to see really just kind of like things that I never really would have ever thought about before. And I just feel like we're in a very interesting spot, even though we're on a 2-game losing streak now. So yeah, man, Eru, this has been a blast. I'm always on your show all the time. So, I mean, it's great to have you on my show. I always listen to your shows. I loved the Michael Rappaport rants that you had. I think it was earlier today. So yeah, tell the people where they can find you.
Well, Diehard Knicks Podcast, man. Me, Aiden, and in the same boat. We were doing the audio stuff. I'm still doing audio, actually, man. I'm actually gonna do an just a audio, standalone show every Tuesday. So we'll see how that goes, man. But I'm still gonna do audio podcasts, so you can find me wherever you find audio stuff, and then YouTube, and also Sportscaster. You can find Diehard Knicks Podcast on both of those channels, man. So you'll see us out there, man. I support Aiden. Aiden definitely supports me, man. I appreciate you a lot, man. So I mean, we just,
Hey, man,
we're just two Knicks fans,
absolutely. And also be sure to follow Ebru on Twitter at Diehard Knicks Podcast. My man comes in hard with the meme game and the GIFs game. It's very funny, I will admit. Even through tough times, you're making Knicks fans smile. So it's great to see. I'm always available if you need me for halftime shows, as always. And yeah, man, thank you so much for coming on tonight. Thank you so much.
No doubt. And also too, man, like you mentioned Twitter and Instagram as well. I'm there for the smoke too, man. Don't be coming at Aiden on some sideways stuff, man. I'm there for him. I'll be in the comments defending my guy, man. So
Absolutely,
be careful
especially during those that like mock draft prediction list.
Yeah, they was coming for us.
That was crazy. I remember I posted that, and then like I woke up the next day to like 80 comments. I'm like, whoa, crazy.
Yeah, man.
I'm like, guys, I got school to focus on today, man. I can't be arguing about Marcus Howard with the 9th pick.
Yeah,
No, yeah, absolutely. But I'll wrap it up. Thank you so much for coming on tonight, and I'll see you in the next halftime show, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I see you. Yo, that's a big one. That's a big one, man. That's gonna be a big night, man. So we really gotta get ready for that one.
It's gonna be great. Thank you so much for coming on, man.
All right, peace, brother.